So what drew you to weather? You said you're a weather nerd. Were you a science nerd, a math nerd, or just a weather nerd? Did you get interested in storms and like tornadoes and hurricanes, or what brought you to it?
It was all winter storms, Dan, is what it was. You remember when you were a kid when back then you didn't get a text if you had school off. After you watch the newscast and you'd see your town, your school go out, it would scroll or go across the bottom. Yeah. And that was it was like you had a feeling of like you were going to Disney World if you had your day off from school, right? And remember those days though? You'd have the day off from school and you call up your friend on the rotary phone. You know, first you dial it up and say, hey, let's go shovel driveways first, and we'll make like $4 or something. Feel really good about yourself, and then we'll go. All right, we're gonna go shovel off the pond, and now we're gonna go play hockey all day. I don't know how we survived. I mean, as kids, you have a lot of energy, and but no, I just have great memories of just loving winter storms. When it started snowing, I'd love to go outside. So it's always been winter storms for me. I've always loved snow. I always loved skiing and snowshoeing and that kind of thing. So I always had a curiosity about weather, and I've always wanted to learn more about it. And I'm still kind of at that point where you're always trying to learn more about your craft and the science. So that's what did it for me. Never really was a big tornado buff. I have no desire to really go chase tornadoes. I don't.
Really?
A lot of
that's surprising.
They love it, but for me it's winter storms, and I love the weather in Maine in particular because we get such a variety here.
And it seems like your science doesn't stop at, or your love of science doesn't stop at weather. You also grow giant pumpkins.
Yeah. So it was funny when you asked me to come on the show. I was like, well, you know. Being a weatherman, I'm automatically a target for comedians, just being a weatherman. So here's the weatherman that grows this giant fruit. So we've always, our family enjoys growing giant pumpkins competitively, which sounds silly and ridiculous.
No, not at all.
But I grew up working on a farm, which probably has which started some of my interest in weather, and I've always enjoyed growing things. My grandmother always taught me to grow her tomatoes from Sicily, and you know, once you kind of get that down, you're like, okay, what's next? But when you grow giant pumpkins, they'll grow 40 pounds a day in the summer. 40 pounds a day. I actually had one this summer growing 40 to 45 pounds a day.
Wow. Sounds like me in college.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the freshman 15. Remember that? Yeah, that's what happens. So it's been exciting to you know, see how fast you can push the limits on these things.
Sure.
And and I think the other thing about growing giant pumpkins, which is a lot of fun, is our lives are so structured. You know, there's always, you go to work, you go home, you have kids and everything. Yep. But I think everybody needs something that just is completely off the wall, something that makes no sense whatsoever.
Like this show.
Yeah. That's your outlet. I love it. Growing giant pumpkins has been kind of my outlet in that sort of situation.
Well, we have one of your champion pumpkins here. I don't think you knew it, but this is one of Charlie's. Pretty impressive. Look at that.
I love it.